Whether you have a job interview, a first date, you're meeting some new friends for the first time, if you want to position yourself to where they won't forget you, you will be memorable. That first experience will be something that neither of you will ever forget. One of the best ways you can do that is to take advantage of a great fragrance. Sounds cliche, may sound dumb. A lot of people, guys and girls, probably don't think of this, but a fragrance really is a way that you can make an everlasting impression on someone. Scent memory is one of the strongest senses that we have. I mean, think about it. Have you ever smelled something totally random, not even a fragrance, but a certain smell, and it transports you back to a certain time of your life, years and years ago? Yeah, that's powerful. And so if you're able to choose a fragrance that is a bit memorable, is very refreshing, maybe very clean, or just there's something unique about it, you're able to pair that with your personality. Maybe you're able to dress up a bit, maybe make sure your grooming's on point, get all of that squared away and choose a nice fragrance on top of it. I can almost guarantee that when you meet that person for the first time, they will never forget that. We've got 7 fragrances to choose from here, all designers. Try to go through, pick out some different stuff that you wouldn't normally expect for a situation like this. And we do have, just as usual, a nice variety, something fresh, something sweet. So no matter what you're into, you will find something that you like. And I will link each and every one of these down below. If you don't want to watch, you just want to see what's in here, you can hit the links. Or if you are interested in picking some of these up for yourself, that will be the best way to do it. Those links will take you to the best prices. And there's also a link to the Fragrance Net 35% off code. You just click that link and it will automatically apply the current discount code for 35% off. So you don't have to go online on Google and try to find the code because they do change it often. That link is in each and every one of my videos and it always applies the very best deal that you can get. Hit that up. Let's get us some. First up, we have 212 VIP Black. Right? Yep, 212 VIP Black by Carolina Herrera. Vanilla, absinthe, and lavender are a couple of the notes. Really cool, really sleek bottle. So Carolina Herrera, a lot of their fragrances do suffer in the performance category. We see that with CH Men Privé. We see that with a lot of their scents, right? I think we can pretty much all establish that here. However, I find this one to be slightly above average. And by that, I mean typically around in the 7 to 7.5 hour mark, which again, for the brand is better than most. What I also like about this one, something that a lot of you guys would appreciate, magnetic cap. Presentation is nice. It does have some heft to it. So about the scent, this one has a little bit of this kind of unique sparkling freshness from the absinthe in here. Great atomizer too, very pressurized. But then you also get this semi-sweetness. There's a little bit of a vanilla tone. The lavender is giving it this masculine, clean freshness. The lavender just ties everything together. It's like an anchor. You know, it supports the base of the scent. So it goes a little bit fresh, it goes a little bit sweet, but ultimately it still maintains this masculine, clean, bold character. It's not a mind blower. It's nothing crazy unique or super new, but it's a really nice scent, very pleasant. Again, the performance is better than most others from the brand. The scent is very nice. It's kind of playful, kind of sexy. So for this one here, maybe a first date, or maybe not even a date, but you just are meeting a girl for the first time. Maybe it's a colleague or something like that, or whatever it could be. You know, you're in high school and college, you're going to a party, that sort of thing. If you want something kind of playful, you know, a little bit fun, but still kind of down to business as well, check out 212 VIP Black. I think this one is really solid. It can be picked up for a good price as well. This next one is no stranger to the channel, but I kind of felt like I had to put it in here. This one is L'Homme Ideal Eau de Toilette. This one's got leather. It has almond. It is a creamy, powdery, smooth, masculine fragrance that is unlike anything else. There's a little bit of a spiciness as well. This one is more leather focused than the EDP. The EDP also is kind of hard to get sometimes, like it's out of stock again. It was in stock on Fragrance Net. Nowhere to be found again as of right now. It will pop up at some point again, I'm sure, but it's a hot seller, man. That thing flies off the shelves as soon as it comes in. So for the time being, I'll throw some love over to the Eau de Toilette, where it all started after all. Because like I've said before, you know, it's easy to get caught up in all these flankers. And while my preferences most of the times are going to be extreme, which is a bit hard to get, the EDP, which is a bit hard to get, At one point, the Cologne was a favorite of mine. It's discontinued. Cool is really good, but even that one sometimes is hard to get. I don't know what's up with this line. They can be tough. And so ultimately, the EDT is still tested, proven, tried and true. It's one that's pretty much consistently always in stock and for a fair price. And I like this one because of that leather focus. The EDP is more cherry, vanilla, and almond. There's some leather, but not nearly as much. This one, it's more almond and leather, so it has a bit more of a kind of approachable smell to it. The EDP may be a bit challenging, a bit daring for some. This one's a bit more well-rounded in the regard of being more likable, I would say. You know, for mass appeal and all that stuff, it's still one that's going to leave an absolute, just mind-blowing first impression, because a lot of people out there aren't going to be wearing something like this. And so when you show up and you are wearing this, you're dressed well, you're well put together, you have confidence, you have manners. This scent is going to amplify all of that, and trust me, it's going to stay in their head for a long, long time. This stuff here, when used right, it's a weapon, and I mean that in the best way possible. So this next one has a little bit of a saga behind it. You may remember this, Mercedes-Benz Cologne. So yeah, I am now finally able to hold this one up again and share it with you. It's been at least a couple years. Essentially, this was at one point, I guess, discontinued. You could not find it anywhere. Prices were skyrocketing, and a whole bunch of craziness, a big frenzy around this one. Essentially because this one is Dior Homme Cologne at about half the price, even a little bit better of a deal than that. So I don't know what happened there, but I had to pull it out of my videos. I couldn't really feature a discontinued fragrance anymore. It's just not fair, right? If you can't pick it up and I'm recommending it to you, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And it was one that I did want to feature because it is the best Dior Homme Cologne alternative. There are some others out there, Jimmy Choo, Man Ice, it gets it done, but not nearly to the extent of this one. So if you want Dior Homme Cologne for, again, about half the price, even a bit of a better deal than that, I believe this one's around 40. I don't know what Dior Homme Cologne's going for. I know it's a little bit over 80, maybe pushing 100. This is bar none, hands down, the best alternative. They are almost neck and neck. It's hard to tell them apart. It's got grapefruit, orange, musk, and it's got like a lemon verbena or orange blossom or something as well. Smells absolutely great, citrusy, fresh, so light, so inoffensive. So why this one is so powerful is that it has such a clean, refined smell. And even though it's not like mind-blowing, you know, like some other fragrances out there, it's so approachable, it's so refreshing and light and likable that I think this type of thing would really leave a lasting impression, because this would get the type of reaction where someone would smell this on you and be like, oh, you smell just clean, you smell well put together. Sure, a lot of fragrances smell clean, but there's something about this DNA that you have to try for yourself if you haven't, and then you'll see where I'm coming from. I think this is a great scent, especially at the price point. I'm glad that you can buy it again now. It will be linked down below, so you can get it for about $38, $40, somewhere around in there. They have different bottle sizes, I believe tester and stuff, so you can do your shopping there. Amazing stuff. Definitely check it out. Next up, we have Hugo Boss Bottled Oud. So don't let oud scare you here. This is essentially Hugo Boss bottled eau de parfum with a tiny amount of oud and woods thrown in. So it has oud, cinnamon, apple, lavender. Smells great. Love it. You still get that apple up front. Very juicy, very fruity. The cinnamon giving it a warm spiciness. Of course, there's oud in here, and essentially what that's doing is giving it some texture. Giving it kind of a, I want to say, slightly rugged smell. Just kind of a bit of a different twist. It kind of breaks up that original DNA. And ultimately, I think it almost makes this one a little bit more masculine. Of course, oud can be used in men's fragrances and women's fragrances. It can be used in smell unisexual. But I think with the type of synthetic oud they're using here and with everything else going on, it actually kind of helps the scent out. It does make it more masculine. Boss Bottled Intense EDT, EDP, kind of smells like an apple pie. Some people say it smells like fall time, and some would say that it's kind of unisexual leaning. But this one does have a nice masculine touch. It's more woody. It has a bit more of a confidence, a bit more of a commanding smell to it. One that will definitely leave an everlasting first impression on someone, because it has that little bit of a unique twist where most people aren't going to be wearing this one, and it will set you apart and people won't forget it. Going back to another fresh fragrance here, trying to keep some variety in here depending on your taste. From John Varvatos, this one is Artisan Blu. Bergamot, lavender, basil. It's green. It's herbaceous. It's fruity. It's citrusy. So I chuckled when I said it's green because the bottle is blue, and so this is where it can get misleading. This is not a blue fragrance. no ambroxan, no nothing like that. So this is not their take on a blue ambroxan fragrance. I've said this before in other videos. This should have been called Artisan Green. I really think so. They should have made the bottle green, everything about it green. I think it's much more green than blue smelling because it's not really aquatic either at all. And if you look at the notes, I listed off a couple, but the majority of the notes are green, they're aromatic, they're herbaceous. To me, it's a green scent. It just doesn't look like it from the outside, but on the inside, that's what matters, and it's green. It's so clean, it's so refreshing. You know, John Varvatos, they do this type of thing best. Now, they do have some other great fragrances. They've got the Dark Rebels, Dark Rebel Rider. They have Vintage. Those are more rich and kind of heavy and sweet, but they still have this John Varvatos character and freshness to them, believe it or not. They all kind of have this John Varvatos smell, which leans fresh. The Artisan line is what kicked them off, really, at least for me, and they all are just one of a kind, man. I mean, these are fresh, refreshing fragrances that I've never smelled before. I can smell this all day. It smells like springtime, smells like summer, smells like the outdoors. Wear this one, get outside and enjoy nature, and it is going to be so complimentary. I mean, if you're out there working in the garden, you're out doing some lawn work, you're out messing around your house doing who knows what in the spring and summertime, wear this and you're going to feel amazing. I also think that this one's going to leave a great first impression on pretty much anyone you come in contact with because of that uniqueness, especially if you're wearing it in spring, summer, warmer weather. They're going to feel that refreshment from this one. They're going to be like, wow, you know, that just smells nice. It's different. It's unique. And that's what this one's all about. I believe $38, $40 or so on discounters, so it's right there in that affordable range. Performance is not a strong suit of these, but who cares, right? It smells so good. There's nothing else out there like it. I highly encourage you to give this one a shot. So we have a fragrance from Armaf next. Yeah, Armaf, believe it or not. It is not Milestone or Sillage or Club de Nuit Intense. Man, this one is actually Très Nuit. Lemon verbena, iris, ambergris, lavender. Smells like green Irish tweed. One of the closest green Irish tweed clones at the price point that this one comes in at. Now, if you were to really nitpick it, of course, you're going to find differences in terms of quality, in terms of scent itself. But at this price, it's unbeatable. You know, you can go up to some Parfums Vintage and the quality is going to be 10 times better than this. And that also comes at a cost. I think all in all, bang for your buck, everything considered, Très Nuit, one of the best green Irish tweed alternatives out there. It's 10 times better than Cool Water. I'm not a fan of Cool Water. I don't think it smells that much like green Irish tweed, but this one does. So if you don't want that green Irish tweed price tag just completely mutilating your bank account, but you want the scent, this is going to be the best way to go at this price point if you're on a budget. It is a gentleman's classic. This DNA came out in like the 80s, mid-80s, 85, I believe, and it still smells so great. There's nothing dated. There's nothing old about this stuff. It is a modern, refined man's smell. Yes, I said modern. I still think this just has a well put together, classy, successful gentleman smell about it. I love this stuff, and it is a first impressions beast of a scent. Last up for this one, we have Gentleman Only by Givenchy. Violet leaf, pink pepper, orange, and musk. It gets compared a little bit to Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Libre, one that's discontinued. And I do agree they're both violet leaf heavy, but there are some differences. More woods here, a bit of a pink pepper spiciness. But it does have this uniqueness from the violet leaf, how it's compounded. It gives it this kind of airy, watery, ozonic type of smell. Very refreshing, very light, and again, very unique. The whole Givenchy Gentleman line, I understand there's Gentleman and Gentleman Only, kind of two separate, but they're still all in the same bottle. Come on, we'll just call it all as one here. All of these fragrances, I think, really bring something new to the table. Some of them, yes, do have similarities to other fragrances on the market. Gentleman EDP to Dior Homme Intense, Gentleman Only Absolute to Spice Bomb EDT. But when we're talking about everything contained in one line, there's no redundancy. Even like Gentleman Eau de Parfum to Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisé, they're different. Gentleman Eau de Toilette to Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense, they're different. Within the line, there is no redundancy. You will find something new with each scent for, you know, a different situation or whatever you're into. I think this line is very valuable, and it's worth collecting as many of them as you can, as many of them as your wife will allow, and that's what I mean. Yeah, Gentleman Only, a great first impression scent, another one that's great for the springtime. Amazing scent, rumored to be discontinued, but it is in stock right now. I would pick one up if you're interested. Hit that down below. Let me know, what are some of your favorite first impression fragrances? Drop them down below. They could be designer, niche. I just like to hear from you guys. And remember, those links will be down in the description as well, so you can pick some of these up at a discounted price, along with that fragrance net 35% off link. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.